held its first scrimmage of the fall on Saturday. We're here to talk about it on Tide Talk Live. Roll Tide, everybody. Welcome in to another episode of Tide Talk Live, powered by the Believe Network. Stacey Blackwood, joined as always by my good buddy Jake Thomas, here to recap Alabama's first scrimmage of the fall, heading into year two of the Kalen DeBoer era. There's a lot to talk about, and we're going to dive into that here in just a minute. Jake, we've had a kind of a day or a half a day to kind of digest what happened in the scrimmage, and I'm excited to talk about it. I don't know about you.
Yeah, Stacey, I'm excited as well. Good to be back. Thank you for keeping the show going this week with some tidbits from camp, and even some of those camp videos have been awesome to watch as well. So, but yeah, I'm back. We're back and ready to talk about the scrimmage. Man, it's exciting because it's in the air, man. It's just 3 weeks away now, and football will be here.
That's right. That's right. Before we do that, please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube. We're right at 100 subs away from 3,000. Help us get there by August 30th when Alabama takes on Florida State. So you got 20 days to get us 100 subs. It's completely free. So help us out there. We're also, like I mentioned, powered by the Believe Network, which helps us be free and available wherever you find your podcast. Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, just wherever you find your podcast, you can find us there. Make sure to leave us those 5-star written reviews on those platforms too, and we would greatly appreciate that. Jake, as we dive into some scrimmage talk, there's so many places we could start, but I think we have to start at quarterback. That's
Yeah.
the position everybody wants to talk about. It's the most important position on the field, maybe the most important position in all of team sports when you think about it. And I released a video Friday how I felt that Ty was in the driver's seat and just a few days away potentially from being named the starter. It could all depend on how the scrimmage went on Saturday and maybe how the second scrimmage goes next Saturday. Well, from all indications, he had a really good day, a really solid performance on Saturday. And even Coach DeBoer mentioned that it's getting closer to time to name the starter. Jake, from what we've heard from the scrimmage, where are you at on the quarterback situation right now?
Well, I'm very impressed with Ty Simpson, and honestly, I'm very impressed with how the quarterback room is shaping up. I mean, honestly, I feel like Ty, Austin Mack, Keelan Russell, all them guys can lead this team this year because they're all just have their own unique abilities. But Ty right now, being the I guess the leader of the clubhouse and being the leader of the offense, he's kind of molded this team and molded to his liking. And man, it just seems like it's all working out well. And one thing I remember I saw that then and heard was no interceptions on the day for any of the quarterbacks. So very impressed with that. So, man, that just bodes well moving forward, throughout the fall camp, the next scrimmage, and just the continuity between the quarterbacks and the wide receivers.
Yeah, for sure. I think Alabama fans have to be thrilled with the fact that the turnovers are being limited at this point
Sure.
in camp. And we know how well the Alabama defense forced turnovers last year during the season, and the fact that Ty and Keelan and Austin are able to take care of the football, that just bodes well for the offense in
Hmm.
general. Because if you take care of the football, you at least give yourself a chance to have success on offense. If you're
Right.
constantly giving it to the other team, you're doing nothing but hurting yourself. So taking care of the football is at a premium, and it seems like Ty and Keelan and Austin are all three doing a really good job of that. And like I mentioned, it just feels like it's just a matter of time before Coach DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, Nick Sheridan announced that Ty is the official starter for the Florida State game in Week 1. And I'm excited for Ty. He's waited his turn, man. He's done things the right way. He's stuck around. It's been tough being a former 5-star prospect coming in, sitting behind Bryce Young, his red shirt or his season where he redshirted as a true freshman, then sitting behind Jalen Milrow the past couple years. He's been patient. He's waited his turn. He's had now 3 different offensive coordinators, started with Bill O'Brien, then Tommy Rees, then Nick Sheridan, and now he has Ryan Grubb.
Right.
So it's just it's wild the the road that Ty Simpson has taken to become the starting quarterback at Alabama, and just thrilled for the kid that he stuck around and done things the right way.
Yeah, man, it's great to see, and I'm kind of getting Matt Jones vibes from from him because he knows Alabama, he knows what's at stake, he knows the history of the program, he knows the program, even though he's had all this change under these coordinators and including change of the head coach, going from the greatest head coach ever to Kevin DeBoer. But I feel like he is rightfully the leader of the quarterbacks right now, and I really feel like it's going to be his team. His chance to lose. Honestly,
Yeah, I agree 100%, and it's just exciting to see it work out for a guy who's done the things the right way. So
right.
that's just exciting to see. Sticking with the offensive side of the ball, all indications are, Jake, that Jam Miller, especially early on in the scrimmage, was kind of having his way with the defense. And
Mhm.
obviously, when you're playing against your own team, that's there's two sides of that. There's a positive and
Yeah.
a negative. But let's stick with the positive. And it's so good to see a guy like Jam Miller, who, like Ty Simpson, has stuck around, waited
Mhm.
his turn. He's the guy now, and he's had a really good fall camp from everything that I've heard. And he kind of continued that on Saturday in the first scrimmage. So, what are you thinking as far as Jam Miller leading this running back room?
Alabama's got a deep running back room for sure, but like you said, it's being led by Jam Miller. Uh, I'm excited to see what can happen because I guess it's since Najee we've not had a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah,
Uh,
2020.
2020. So I've been missing that, and of course you can say what you will. I feel like the talent has been there. Maybe the play calls just haven't led up to success in the running room, and maybe the offensive line not gelling together. But I really feel like somebody in this room, probably Jam Miller, says he's probably going to see most of the carries, has a chance to get 1,000 yards this year. But yeah, I'm really excited about who is going to be behind him, whether that's Richard Young, which I feel like he will play a good bit. Hill, I feel like we'll see the field some. Question is, will freshman AK Deers see the field any this year? Because he's very talented, and I don't know how you're going to keep him off the field.
Yeah, that's where I was going next. And just to
Mm-hmm.
kind of to cap off Jam Miller talk, what I like about Jam is he's really an all-purpose back.
Yeah.
He's obviously can run the football, but he does a great job in pass protection, and we've seen him multiple times make plays in the passing game as well. So, maybe he's not elite in any of those categories, but he's very, very good at all three, and that's
Yep.
important to have on your team. And you mentioned the depth, and you have guys like Richard Young, Daniel Hill. You have Dre Washington, the transfer from Louisiana. Where does he fit in the mix? AK Deer, the freshman phenom, and then
Mm-hmm.
redshirt freshman Kevin Riley, who is probably the most explosive of all the players in the
Yep.
running back room. So I guess my question is, Jake, how do you see this rotation looking? Because it feels like Daniel Hill might be starting to pass Richard Young as RB2. We don't know that for sure, but Hill is certainly generating more buzz than any other back, not Jam Miller.
Yeah, that's a good point, Stacy. And a few weeks ago, I kind of put out there that I feel like Richard Young may be the guy who would overtake Jam Miller. Probably need to retract that a little bit because it may be Daniel Hill as a guy who takes over. I'm not saying Jam's going to lose his position, but Daniel Hill may take those carries that should be Richard Young's this year, and who knows what could happen. But I'm very excited. I heard even some talk in spring that the coaching staff was really high on Daniel Hill. So you're starting to see that now. And the reason why he just feels like he's a typical Kalen DeBoer back and a grub back that they like. And you didn't really see a lot at Washington running back wise. They had great players there, but just Daniel Hill just seems like he's that type of guy that they like at running their ball for
Yeah, and he's a big kid, 6
him.
foot, 240 plus. I mean, it's been since Derrick Henry, since Alabama's had a back that big, and
Yeah.
he's kind of a jack of all trades too. He is really good in the passing game. So,
Mhm.
not sure where he stands right now in pass protection. But he's still a young kid, but we know what he can do with the ball in his hands, and what he can do, in the passing game as well. And Dre Washington is a guy who is also much like Jam Miller, a veteran player who maybe isn't a lead at any one thing, but does a good job running the ball, pretty good in pass protection, can catch the ball in the backfield. So
Mhm.
I just wonder how this coaching staff is going to fit all this talent and keep everybody happy,
Yeah.
in terms of how many touches they get. You got to feel like Jam Miller's going to get the bulk. And then what happens after that and who splits those carries after Jam Miller, who knows, man? Maybe we'll know more after this second scrimmage next weekend. But it's that room is loaded, and it's one of the most intriguing positions behind Jam Miller of how the carries are going to be distributed among that running back room.
Yeah.
Sticking with the offense, we'll kind of do it position group by position group since we started
Yeah.
with quarterbacks, moved to running
Mhm.
backs. Let's look at wideouts, Jake. Zay Horton had a big play yesterday.
Mhm.
Reports are saying he caught about a 50-yard touchdown pass from Ty Simpson. Cole Adams made some plays. He's proven to be a consistent player for this offense as well. Ryan Williams doing Ryan Williams things. We know what Jeremy Bernard is capable of. He's Mr. Consistent, in my opinion. So, just the noise that was made yesterday by Zay Horton and Cole Adams. What are you reading on that this week?
Well, I'm glad you brought this up, Stacy, because I saw something. Maybe it was Thursday or Friday where Coach Shepard had come out and said, nothing's guaranteed. There's no spots that are guaranteed, especially with Horton coming in. And I'm like, man, that's incredible to hear because we got Ryan Williams, we got Jeremy Menard, we know what those guys have got, but that's like a motivation factor, and just shows the kind of leadership and the kind of drive that Horton has brought in, and that Coach Shepard is like, I know we've got Ron Williams, who's probably one of the top wide receivers in the nation, and we've got Jeremy Menard, who's great as well, but nobody's guaranteed to have a spot. You got to come and earn it. And I love that mentality. And you're starting to see that. Horton, I think he's going to get on the field. Ron Williams, of course, and Bernard. But like we've talked about, who's going to be that fourth guy? And you start to see Cole Adams kind of take that initiative and be that guy. So we'll see how it rolls the rest of camp and the next scrimmage. But I really think it's going to be Adams or maybe Hale at that fourth. But of course, Rico Scott and Lazier Brooks. I mean, there's so much talent. Again, how is the coaching staff going to get all these guys on the field to keep them happy? That's another question for the wide receivers as well.
It's crazy the depth that at not every position on this team, because there's
Yeah,
certainly some position groups that lack the depth that you would like to have, but running back is not one of them, and
no,
wide receiver is not one of them.
no,
And I'm confident that Ryan and Germ are going to be 1 and 2,
yeah,
and then after that, Jake, it could be any combination of Horton,
hmm
Scott,
hmm
Adams, Hale,
yeah,
Brooks, maybe freshman Derek Meadows,
man,
who's a
Meadows, yeah,
mismatch nightmare at 6'5", 6'6". So, what they do outside Germ and Ryan Williams, the truth is we don't know because it's just wide open and there's so much talent there. It's so deep, and that Coach Shep's going to have those guys ready to play. And what I'm leaning towards Rico Scott being a big part of this offense,
hmm
simply because when you hear the coaches talk about him, they talk about his ability to be kind of a jack of all trades.
yep,
He can play inside, he can play outside, he can beat you with speed, he can beat you with power. He's a willing blocker. So when they use phrases like that, it makes me have confidence that he is going to be an integral part of this offense. And I see Zay Horton being a big piece as well because of his size and his ability to win vertically, which is something this coaching staff and this offense likes to do. If you go back and watch what they did with Mike Penance and Rome Odunze, they like to throw the ball down the field in vertical situations and let those big guys go up and get it. So I believe Zay Horton's going to be a big piece of this offense as well. But there's just so much depth there, and the fact that you just keep hearing different guys step up and make plays at different times. It's nice to hear that Cole Adams making plays coming off of injury.
Mhm.
It's nice to see that Rico Scott is making a lot of noise this fall. We know what Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bedard do. Then you see a guy yesterday in Zay Horton making a big play in the passing game as well. So it's just nice to see all those guys making plays. And if they can consistently be there for Ty Simpson, this offense has a chance to be really, really special. So this wide receiver room has me excited for the year.
Yeah, absolutely, Stacy. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Like you said, 1-2 is probably set. Like you said, Horton's going to get a good amount of time on the field. But Rico Scott, I'm with you. He, like you said, mismatch nightmare. The speed, you can't coach speed, as they say, and they say that kid is like one of the fastest on the team.
Yep.
So
And he's built too, man. I mean,
he is.
he's built solid. I mean,
Yeah.
right around 6 foot, probably hovering close to 200 pounds. Just
Hmm.
a thick kid with elite speed.
Yeah.
And the thing I keep hearing most is his ability to block.
Yeah.
If he can be a playmaker and block, you're going to see the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just plain and simple.
Yeah, and Coach Saban had that mindset with his receivers. If you want to see the field, you have to not only block well, do all the other things, but blocking was a big thing for Coach Saban. I'm glad to see that transition to this coaching staff because you want your receivers to do more than just be the route runners and be the handsy guys. They need to block on the outside as well when asked. So it's good to see them. I guess bring that still into the program.
Well, there's no question. Alabama fans should be excited about the wide receiver position under
Mhm.
this current coaching staff. I mean, Coach
Absolutely.
DeBoer and Coach Grubb and Coach Shep, they had those. What they have 3 guys taken in the first 2 rounds of the
Mhm.
draft year before last.
Yeah.
I mean, they know how to coach up the wide receivers. And if you go
Yep.
back and watch that tape, they like to win vertically and then they like to play that underneath game where there's those other receivers can get out there and block for their teammates. So if you're an Alabama fan, you need to be excited about what the receiving room is going to look like in the future under this current staff. We've been talking about blocking, so let's move to the offensive line, Jake,
Mhm.
which is always a hot subject for Alabama football fans. I don't know of any other fan base that loves offensive linemen as much as the Alabama fan
I
base, and I
know.
think it has so much to do with how dominant Alabama was in the early Saban days, especially up front. I've been going back and watching some old games. I was watching a game from 2011, Jake, and my gosh, that offensive line. I mean, they just did whatever they wanted to. I
Right.
mean, it was like they were trying to block you and me.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just they made it look so easy. And so, a lot of Alabama fans grew accustomed to being dominant up front. And I think it's safe to say that really since 2020, when Alex Leatherwood was still there and Landon Dickerson was still there, that dominant offensive line has not been there for Alabama. So it's been a few years, but I feel like this is the year where, I don't think we're ever going to achieve that level of success we had in the early 7 days simply because the game is different, not only between the white lines, but also off the field in terms of NIL and the transfer portal and, everybody leaving to go every other year to somewhere new. So the depth is not like it should be. But I do feel comfortable and more confident in this offensive line because you have a good anchor in Parker Brailsford at center. Uh, all indications are that the 2 tackles yesterday, Caden Proctor and Wilkin Formby, played as good as they have ever played at Alabama. That's some of the things I'm hearing. That's
Mhm.
huge.
Yep.
Jaden Roberts has been a big talking point this week. He's kind of missed some practice. He didn't get to scrimmage yesterday. We saw him taking second team reps throughout the week, and Gino Vandermark taking first team reps at right guard. Turns out Roberts is a little nicked up right now, so he didn't scrimmage yesterday. So I don't think it's anything to be too concerned about. But overall, Jake, if you just could kind of give your thoughts on the offensive line of what you're thinking right now, plus kind of the things you've heard from the scrimmage yesterday.
Yeah, Stacy. Talking about the offensive line, and you talked about those big boys of the Saban days, early days. And one thing that we mentioned earlier about the running game doesn't seem like we've had any offensive line who actually moved their guys off the line of scrimmage and open up them holes. You started to see a little bit better of that last year, but right now it's just they're just like tied up just like this at with the defensive line, and there's no movement either way. But we've talked about this too, Stacy. Caden Proctor, he's been hurt. He transferred out, then come back. So this is really his first camp, and you're starting to see him become the top 10, top 5 player that they're predicting, in the draft next year. And you talk about anchor, you talking about an anchor on the left hand side. He's going to be that anchor. And a few weeks ago I mentioned I do not believe that he's going to give up any sats at all this year. So I really feel like this is going to be the best Caden Proctor we've had all year. Hope Jaden Roberts gets healthy because he's a big bully guy as well. But I really want to see this offensive line start making their presence known at the line of scrimmage again, like they did, and pushing those defensive linemen back into the linebackers that they did of old to help establish a run game and to help get runners free, and that's how you get your 1,000 yards rushers and have 100 yards plus running the ball during games.
Yeah, no question about it. It all starts up front on both sides of the
Right.
football. You have to have success there first and foremost if you want to be a consistently successful team, especially in the SEC and all the physicality that goes on in that league. We've kind of covered everything offensively, Jake, so far, and in terms of how scrimmages work, it's not so much geared to the defense. I mean, it's for the whole team, but fans are really enamored with the offense and want to know what the quarterbacks are doing, what the running backs are looking like, what receivers made big catches.
Right.
But overall, I think we can talk about the defense in this way. Overall, it was a solid day for the defense. They kind of got started off a little slow, allowing the offense to kind of have their way with them early on in the scrimmage. But from everything we've heard, the defense started stepping up and making more plays as the scrimmage went on. And so nothing major defensively to really dive in too much about. Is there anything, though, Jake, defensively that you're hoping to learn the remainder of fall camp?
Just learning about who's going to spell some guys, on the defensive line. We know Kelby Collins is probably going to be the guy behind LT Overton, but I really want to see where Jeremiah Breemans fits into this team, because I mean you both feel like he's going to be a very special player this year, and some of the linebackers see where they end up at. We know Lawson and Justin Jefferson is going to have that inside, but who's going to be behind that? Mekhi Hill looks like Green Hill looks like he's really taking a next step, being the third option there, and some others. So heard QB Jones has done really well. So just keep a close eye on that as well.
QB Reese.
QB Reese.
Yeah.
QB Jones. Yeah. QB Reese.
Yeah, the defensive line is, to me, is the one I want to learn the most about as fall camp continues, simply because James Smith. I've heard that James Smith didn't participate in the scrimmage as well, and he's a guy who I think could be a superstar for Alabama this year.
Yeah.
He needs to be healthy, Jake. I think if this defense wants to be as good as it can be, James Smith needs to be healthy, because I think he's probably the most disruptive player Alabama can have on the interior of that defensive line. So having a healthy James Smith is huge. We feel good about Jeremiah Beeman. We feel good about Edric Hill. I think Kelby Collins will play both inside and outside. Maybe even a guy like Keon Keeley could play inside or outside, given he's the biggest bandit Alabama has on the roster, 6'5", 280 plus. So there's some depth there, but it's not what I would call perfect depth, where you have a several 300+ pounders you could throw in there on the interior. But you got a good plug in the middle and Tim Keenan, and you can kind of work around that with some of the other guys.
Yeah, I agree, Stacy. And it's I'm very interested to see how everything plays out the rest of rest of the fall and the scrimmage. But yeah, just getting the depth set. We kind of know who our starters are going to be, and just see who's going to be that second line of defense. If somebody needs to come out and take a breather. And of course injuries. Make sure nobody else major get and has a serious injury. From all indications, the James Smith and Jaden Roberts injuries are kind of minor,
Right.
just nuisance more than anything because they can't really practice. But just no major injuries moving forward for sure.
Yeah, that's obviously
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing you want to take away from all football camps is no major injuries, especially
Right,
in the modern age where the depth is just not what it was 5 to 10 years ago. It's just
right.
different. It's just you're no longer four deep at every position. It's just impossible to be that. So, obviously, the secondary had their moments as well. No need to really rehash that because we talk about the how deep the DBs are every single episode. We're excited about that group. They continue to play well. Bray Hubbard's a superstar.
Yep.
You know what you have in Damani Jackson, Xavier Brown. That Husky spot's looking interesting with Deshaun Jones, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., Cam Calhoun, the Utah transfer's getting a little look at Husky as well because he's probably just too good not to play somewhere every once in a while. Zay Mincy's making some noise. He's a guy I'm really excited about. So a lot of depth there in the secondary. I do want to touch it, Jake, just on one more thing because everybody always wants to know some freshmen who are kind of making some noise, and so I think I want to go the opposite side of the ball, Jake. I heard a lot of good things about Jackson Lloyd and Michael Carroll, the two five-star offensive linemen that Alabama got in this 2025 class. Jackson Lloyd was playing left tackle. Michael Carroll was playing right tackle, and from all indications, they were very impressive in Saturday's first scrimmage of the fall. So those two guys have me really excited about the future of the offensive line.
Yeah, absolutely, Stacy. Those guys, they're probably not going to get a lot of playing time this year, but it's good to know what you have coming up in the future. And if they're already showcasing their skills as true freshmen, then by their junior season, you're going to have two studs at left tackle and right tackle. And good luck trying to get past them whenever they get more experience under the belt. So I'm excited there as well to see how their growth continues to develop.
Absolutely. A couple more freshmen on the offensive side of the ball who really started this week of I think once the pads kind of got on, started making some noise. Marshall Pritchett and Caleb Edwards, two freshmen tight end, Jake, which is a position that's really strange because everybody was injured in the spring except for Jay Lindsey.
Right.
And now I'm not even sure where Jay Lindsey fits out in the depth chart because Josh Cuevas is going to be a big part of the plan. Danny Lewis is going to be a big part of the plan. Those guys have been nicked up basically since the spring as well.
Hmm.
I mean, all indications are they're going to be ready to play when the season gets here. Uh, then you bring in Jack Samarco and Brody Dalton as transfers, but the two guys that to me that feel like they're making the most noise this fall is Marshall Pritchett and Caleb Edwards. Now, a lot of it could be that they are the new nice and shiny toys, but the truth is we're hearing some really good things about those two guys. So that tight end room is really interesting this season as well.
There may not be a lot of experience and a superstar per se at tight end, but you talk about depth. There is a lot of depth there. Danny
They
Lewis,
got a bunch of them. They
they
got a
got a
bunch.
bunch. Yeah. Um, Danny Lewis, I feel like has gotten the short end of the stick, because he seems like he's been injured his entire time at Alabama and he played a little bit last year, but I think he's got a lot of talent. But again, these freshmen coming in, he's going to have to keep the pace up because he'll get passed again with those two guys. So they like I said, there's not really a superstar there. There's talent. There's talented players. I think Cuevas is going to be really good. He's a good catcher, pass catcher, and he can be a safety net for Ty Young. and he's a good blocker too. So I really feel like he's going to see the most there at tight end.
I like how you just mixed Bryce Young and Ty Simpson together. You said
Ty
Ty
Simpson,
Young.
yeah, yeah. Ty,
Ty,
hey,
Ty Young.
hey, that'd
Hey,
be
if
great.
he can play like Bryce Young, we'll be all right.
I'd take it.
But defensively, Jake, of course, Dijon Lee, he's been
Mhm.
really the story since he arrived on campus in terms of freshmen on this team.
As you should be.
And he played well again yesterday. Also hearing things that Abdul Sanders and Luke Metz, two freshmen inside linebackers, are starting to play well and kind of get better and better as the weeks progress. So, and just the truth is, Alabama finished with the number 3 ranked class in the country. It should not
Right.
be a surprise that there's a handful of guys that are making a lot of noise and turning some heads in fall camp. So those are just a few names to kind of keep tabs on as fall camp continues. And we're certainly excited about the future of the football program. I feel like this team is really coming together nicely. And the truth is, Jake, is the deeper we get into the fall camp and the closer we get to the season, the more confident I am that this team has a chance to make a really deep run in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I agree, Stacy. And it's funny, we finished third in recruiting this past year, but he was going to be another Husky Harson.
Oh
As
my
we
gosh.
heard. Yeah, that is definitely not happening. And the 2026 class is starting to shape up really, really nice as well. So, I Alabama is going to recruit at a high level because it's Alabama. Don't matter who the coach is going to be.
Yeah, the demise of Alabama football recruiting was grossly exaggerated when Nick
Yeah,
Saban retired. I
right,
mean, I
big
guess
time.
they thought that I mean, I understand people have the misconception that, well, if this dude's not from here, how's he going to recruit? So
Hmm.
recruiting is about two things.
Hmm.
Really, it's about one thing. It's about relationships.
Yep.
And either you can build relationships with people or you can't.
Hmm.
And it's obvious this coaching staff can. And so I'm not worried about recruiting one bit. I
Nope.
don't care. I don't really care what the rankings say so much as because every class is going to be different because in terms of size and that
Yep.
affects your ranking, the number of players you're taking, and all that. So, but I'm confident this coaching staff is going to fill this roster full of talented players. So
Yep.
they've done a good job at Washington. They're continuing that here as well, and I'm excited about the future of this program, and I'm excited about this 2025 version of Alabama football, Jake. I think this team has a chance to be special.
Yep.
In every team can say, barring injury, I think this team has a chance to be special. So, really like what they have on both sides of the football. If Ty Simpson, who we are presuming is going to be the starter, all indications are that he's going to be the starter. If he can just be a steady, consistent distributor of the football, this offense is going to be really good. Now, I mean, I would not be surprised if this team finishes inside the top 5 on both offense and defense this year, Jake. I'm not quite ready to make that bold prediction that they will do that, but it would not surprise me one bit.
Yeah, and you speak of bowl predictions. I've already gave a few, but we're still gonna have our bowl prediction show coming up for the season. I'm sure you've got a couple that hidden that we hadn't heard yet,
Yeah.
and I've got a few more as well. But yeah, that very well could happen. I'm with you. It's kind of early to really put that out there, but I'm very confident if everything plays out well. This defense is going to be one of the best it's been in a while, and this offense is going to put up numbers. And I really think Ty Simpson can have 4,500 yards passing this year.
Ooh, golly.
Yeah,
Ooh,
if it all plays out well, because and if he does, and he's got to be front runner for Heisman, no
he'll be
doubt
up
about it.
there.
Yeah,
He'll be up there.
so it just depends how it plays out, but yeah, we'll see. But I'm excited. It's football season's back, and this team, I feel like you said, has the potential to make a serious run to the championship this year.
Yep. So as we kind of put a bow on this, kind of recap or reaction or whatever you want to call this to the first scrimmage of fall camp, just to kind of give a general synopsis, it was a good day yesterday in Tuscaloosa. Some good things from the offense, some good things from the defense, some give and take from each side of the football, and I think fans need to be excited about the potential of this team, which we just kind of talked about there. But that's going to wrap it up, guys. We really appreciate you tuning in. Please jump in the comments here on YouTube. Give us your thoughts on today's show. Give us your thoughts on the team, maybe position groups you're looking at that you would like for us to talk about more. We'd love to do that here on the channel as well. Jake, is there anything else you need to add before we wrap it up?
No, man, I think we hit it good and hard this week, and I'm we'll come out on the other side, and we'll have some other talking points throughout the week with more camp bits and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited, man. It's been a great show.
Yeah, we're time this recording. We're 20 days away from kickoff. My gosh, I cannot wait for it to get here, buddy.
It's been crazy, long off season, but man, I'm ready. I'm so stoked.
Yep. Me too. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you real soon. But until then, roll tide.
Roll Tide.